Hello everybody, welcome to my Zen Den. I am so happy that you're here to join me tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I stutter a lot apparently. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mandy Van Havermit and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up from Great Eagle, Minnesota, and I am so thankful that you have joined me. I have got an awesome online exclusive. The new online exclusives launched the beginning of May 2025, and there's some of the suites and some of the stamp sets that are in this online exclusive are just so cool. And my favorite one by far it's called the Botanical Textures Collection Suite Collection. Okay, talking might just be really tough tonight. How about I just craft instead? I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get stamping. I will show you the Botanical Textures Suite Collection. I promise it's really a lot cooler than what my voice is protruding out here. Hold on just a second. Let's flip our camera around. All right. That's the wrong button. Oh my goodness. It's tough to be me, I'm telling you guys. I know what I'm doing, I promise. I've done this before. Wowzer. Do you ever have days like that? I'm apparently having a day like that, where I just am not sure what I'm doing. Okay, so once I get my arm out of the way, you can see this is the collection. Everything here is in the collection. Of course, you can buy each piece individual, each piece separate. I'm going to show you my two favorite parts are the dies. Look at those dies. Look at the texture on those dies. So what they do is they cut a border. So they're going to cut a rectangle and then it's going to have these really cool border designs on them. I will show you, and I love these dies. I would say that if you are going to just purchase one part of this collection, the dies are it. They are so stinking cool, and you'll see what I mean. So there's the dies. We've got a new embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. It's a mini corrugated embossing folder. We've had a corrugated, a few years back we had a corrugated embossing folder. This one is so much better. It does not, that one was really, really aggressive, and I found that it was hard to use because it ripped the paper. This is not nearly as aggressive. It's a little bit smaller. So nice embossing folder. The stamp set, textured note stamp set, really some fun textures, stamps, and then the great sentiments. You are seriously the best. Thank you. A little note of appreciation, and it is red rubber. So very, very cool. The ribbon is you can tie a bow really nicely with this ribbon. Let me do it really quick here. It doesn't make too big of a bow, so you can if you tie a bow, you can send your card through the mail. There you go. Really, I mean, it's a nice ribbon. So there's that, and it's white, so you can color it with your blends. The textured dots, neutral matte textured dots. We've got pumpkin pie, kind of a very vanilla, the basic black and basic white dots. So super pretty. And then the paper. Look at the designer series paper. Isn't it so cool? And this is interesting because usually you get two pieces of each designer series paper in a 12 by 12. With this one, there's only 4 patterns. So you get 3 each of each design. So this is the one side, really beautiful textures, and then the opposite side are equally as beautiful textures. Fun basket weaving, kind of a gray, so it's gray granite is the gray tone. Just awesome designer series paper. So let's put some of it together here and see what we can come up with. Here's my card sample, or my recipe here. Let's start. Let's find my pile of things. This will be the card we're casing. I made this card earlier tonight, and here's an example of those dies. Isn't that, I hope you can see it. Isn't the border just so cool? So I've got 3 different dies here from this suite, and I just love it. This is made with Pretty Peacock and Early Espresso, and then the darker piece of basket of the, let's see, Woven Textures Designer Series paper. And then this is also Woven Designer Series paper, Woven Textures DSP. So let's see what we were going to make here. We've got a piece of gray granite, 8.5 by 5.5, scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. I've got a piece, I decided to try Blueberry Bushel. I thought that went really good with the gray granite. And this piece could probably get away with a little smaller. It's 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of Woven Textures DSP. This is not right. Let me find my handy dandy ruler. I've been losing rulers. I'm on my second ruler today and now I've lost it too. This is not 4 by 5 1/4. Here it is. We're going to change that. We're going to edit this. 3 1/2, but I think 4 7/8. There's a reason I had this Sharpie up here, which is now missing. Oh dear. We're going to change this. Not 4 by 5 1/4. It's 3 1/2 by 4 7/8. Okay, that's the size of Designer Series paper you're going to use. And then I've got a piece of basic white for the inside. That is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to need some scraps of basic white. Oh, have you ever had one of those days? I'm apparently having that day now. Okay, so we're going to grab our dies. I'm going to take the biggest one, and that's what I'm going to cut out the Blueberry Bushel with. So I'm going to put that in my cut and emboss machine quick and cut that out. And these dies, I've said this a lot of times, but these dies, you're really going to want to put them, you'll want to canter them as you put them in through your machine, because they will bend. When you go through this way, that's when you get the warping of your die. Send it through just a little bit cantered, and so it's easier on your machine, it's easier on your die, it's easier on your plates, it's just easier on everything. Send it through just a little cantered. All right, so cut out my little piece there. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I think it's so cool. Okay, so let's put that back. And this, I am going to grab some stamps. Let's see, I have got, for ink, I have Garden Green, Blueberry Bushel, and Gray Granite. And I am going to grab some stamp blocks here. And my stamp set, I'm going to grab this round basket stamp, and these are new, so they're sticky. So they're super sticky. Got my garden piece of greenery there, and then I'm going to use the sentiment, a little note of appreciation. Thought that was a cute sentiment. Always a good sentiment to send appreciation to your friends, right? So we're going to use this. I do believe my die is going to fit. Let's double check to make sure. With the night I'm having, I probably should. Yes, it'll fit. So let's open up our Garden Green and our Gray Granite. Grab something to stamp on. I'll just stamp on this because it's here, because I'm going to stamp off just a smidge. And Gray Granite, I'm just going to put that towards the edge like that. And then my plant, I'm going to ink up in Garden Green, just like that. And I'm not getting too particular on my placement. It's going to cut off, and I know that, and I'm okay with that. So that's where I'm going to put my die. I need one more little scrap of white. Here we go. And I've got my sentiment here. I'm going to open my Blueberry Bushel. A little note of appreciation. Perfect. All right, let's close these up. Ooh, that was a tough one. It was a tough one. Grab our plates, and of course I'm going to send these through at the same time because I can. So we'll stick that just like that. And then I've got this little guy. And I'm going to grab this die right here, my smallest one. Oh, you know what? I lied. Do you want to stamp? Let's stamp on some DSP. I always like to stamp on DSP and I forget to. I have it sitting right here. Let's do it. Let's open that Blueberry Bushel back up. I like it. We'll see which one looks better. If maybe this one won't look as nice. Look at me taking, I was a rebel. Did you see I just stamped on my really rough? Turns out it works. Add more texture. Okay. Look at me go. Oh, yeah. All right, so there I've got my dies lined up. Send that through my cut and emboss machine. All right, so there's that. Look at that beautiful pattern on the edge. So cool. And my little guy right there. Perfect. I love it. Okay, let's put our card together. And let's put our dies back before I can't find those later, right? Okay, so we are going to fold and burnish our card base. And I like that side. So let's adhere. Doesn't that gray granite look just so cool with the blue? I love that combination. I love blue and gray together. It just makes me happy. I don't think Blueberry Bushel gets the love it needs. And that is a bright, fun blue, and I should use it more often. I tend to lean towards Night of Navy more often, and Blueberry Bushel is just a fun, happy color. And like I said, I think the dies are the star of this suite. They would work great with just about any kind of sentiment. They're we've got lots of sentiments that would fit into these smaller dies like this. We've got lots of sentiments that would fit into the bigger rectangles. I just think that they are so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, let's bump this guy up. Put one in the center because I don't want a saggy center. And again, 3.5 by 4 7/8 of the woven textures. That's the measurement on this die. Okay, got all those off. Oh, I like that green. That is the perfect pop, right? Okay, so now I'm going to put so I'm going to place this right on here like this. I like it. I like the extra texture there. Isn't that just cool? So I'm going to stick that there. So I'm going to put a dimensional on this part, and I'm going to put adhesive on this part. So just a little bit of adhesive there, and one dimensional there, and that's going to keep it level, but off the edge. Isn't that perfect? Let's add some dots. Oh, I love that card. I love the blue with it. That turned out so good. I was imagining it, so I'm glad it turned out as good as I wanted it to. As good as I imagined it would. Okay, pick up. I think I'm out of sticky. Let's take that guy off. Crank up a little bit more new putty. There we go. And it doesn't take much. And now it's stuck to the paper. Okay. My night is going great. There, we got a small one. That's one. Oh, there's two. I can so do this. And how about three? Just like that. I love how that turned out. So again, that was patterned after this card. But the dimensions are right here for both cards. They're the same, just different colors. I probably would change out the white dots on this one. I'd probably put the pecan pie dots on that card if I were to do it again. Oh, let's put an inside in. Wouldn't this make a great sympathy card? I've got a little note of appreciation on there, but I think it would make a great sympathy card. There we go. Let's put our inside in. I probably could have stamped that. Let's stamp it. Let's put a little something in there. A little round gray basket. And hopefully it works. Oh, it did. Look at that. Beautiful. I love that card. I think it turned out so good. I love the gray and blue. Have I told you that I love the gray and blue? I love the gray and blue. All right, let's work on our card number 2, which is I don't have a sample. I am working by the seat of my pants here, which I'm kind of regretting at this moment because of the way my night has gone. Okay, so far we need an 8.5 by 5.5 early espresso. I'm going to use berry burst. So I've got roughly a 4 by 5.25 berry burst. Again, we're going to cut them down. So another 4 by 5.25 of woven textures DSP. And this is, this side is like a basket and this side is also kind of more like a burlap. Love it. I've got a basic white for the inside, 4 by 5.25. We'll set that aside. And then I need some more basic white scrap and some crumb cake scrap. So let's see if we can pull this card together out of my imagination. I'm going to use the second to largest die. So that's what I'm saying. You could probably get by with a smaller piece of paper if you wanted to. So I'm going to cut 2 of these out. This one is going to be 2 of the same die. So there's this one here. Cut that out. And I'm going to tell you the design doesn't show up quite as much on the stitch or on the designer series paper as it will on the cardstock. So let's cut out our berry burst. And I have had so much fun pairing all these designer series papers with different colors of cardstock. That's probably been my favorite part of this suite. Look at that border. Isn't it pretty? So you can really, really see it on the solid cardstock. Okay. So now I'm going to use my cut and emboss one more time for the sentiment, and I'm going to use this long skinny one here, and I'm going to use the sentiment, "You are seriously the best," which I can say about a lot of people. So let's get rid of this guy. If I have a cleaner, somewhere I have my cleaning pad. There it is. Okay. So we'll take this off, just like that. So let's see here, a scrap. We're gonna use this scrap. It was the back of this piece. I'm still gonna use it, it's all good. My ink colors are crumb cake. I don't know if I'll use the early espresso and the berry burst. Let me think about what I wanna do. I think we're gonna go with early espresso, because otherwise I'm afraid it's gonna be too much pink. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go early espresso. We're gonna stamp that on our scrap white piece. You are seriously the best. And then I'm going to take my circle, my woven circle here again. I'm gonna wash that off because I used it on my last card. And I'm gonna ink that up in crumb cake, which is, it's a distinctive stamp. So it's not perfect. It's really kind of light. It's so fun. Such a neat color. Such a neat texture stamp. I love it. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's my plan. I'm gonna try to use a punch, and I did not measure it. I kind of measured it. I think 1.5, but now I'm looking at 1.5 or 1 3/4, and that seems a little small. It is like right on the edge, perfect. Let's try a 2-inch punch. And that's a little bit too big. I think there's a 1 7/8 coming out. That'll be awesome. In the meantime, we're going to use a 1 3/4 because that's what I have. Okay. And I am going to use my cut and emboss machine and cut this out with my one little skinny little guy. Skinny little guy die. Ay, ay, ay. Stop me, I'm starting to rhyme. Okay, let's cut it out. And let's see if this looks as good on the paper as it did in my head. All right, so there's our, okay, so let's fold our piece of early espresso. And my plan is to do one like that and one like that. So just to add a little bit, a pop of color behind. Let's see if we're working out like we want. Oh, this is good. Do I like it like that, or should we flip-flop them? Because then that would stick out. You guys are getting into my head. Aren't you so happy? I think I like the pop of color behind it. I think I do. That kind of blends in, but here, let's do this. I had this is out, a sponge dauber, and I've got my early espresso ink. This just tends to blend in a little bit too much, right? So, like that, it blends in just a smidgen too much, right? Let's take our sponge dauber and just go around the outside of our circle. See if we can't get that to stand out just a little bit more. Perfect. And it did the trick. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. So that's going to go on there. Oh, it's going to be good. Okay, let's adhere it now that it's not as bad as I thought. No, it turned out really good. I like the pink, the berry burst, the bright berry burst with the dark early espresso. I think that is just a really winning combination. I love that combination. All right, so we're going to exactly opposite. There we go, like that. Oh, that's fun. That's really fun. All right, so we're going to do kind of the same thing where I think I'm going to bump this up with some dimensionals. Maybe 3. Like that. Yep, just like that. Beautiful. And then our trick is going to be to get this straight, because this is cantered. We're gonna want to keep turning it. Okay, I got it. I can do this. A couple of dimensionals out towards the end. There we go. And then a little piece of adhesive there to hold it onto the circle. Oh, that's cool. You know what? I think you know what would look really good with this? Some gold sequins. Oh, I got some gold sequins. This is the pack of, let's see, Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins. The copper would look, oh, the copper would look good too. The copper would look good too. Let's do copper. Okay. This will be, oh my goodness. I love that copper in there. How cool is that? That's card number 2. I love it. I love how that turned out. It's using that Botanical Textures Suite again. So, and isn't the texture is just cool on there. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. Let's put an inside in here so that we can use our card and send it out. Just like that. Awesome. There you go. So you can take a screenshot of that if you so desire. So here are our cards from tonight. Those are the 2. And I have got so many samples. Here's another card that I had made earlier using the Pretty Peacock with this. And this is the mini corrugated embossing folder. I just love how that turned out. I roughed up the edges a little bit. And this is the same card. I didn't rough up the edges. And it's with just early espresso. Love those. Let's see. This is the card that started me thinking. I got it as a swap. And this is actually, I cased this card. I got it as a swap in Raleigh, North Carolina, when I was at the Michelle Zygmunt is the person who gave me that. And I thought that is just, I loved so you can use, see, that's what I'm saying. You can use these dies and this embossing folder and not use this paper. These dies are awesome. You will love these dies, I'm telling you. So let's flip the camera around and I will say goodnight. I hope that you have there we go. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you get some crafting in, and I will see you. I won't see you next Friday night. My son has a state archery tournament next Friday night, so I won't be here next Friday. I'll see if I can pop on sometime during the week to share some crafting goodness with you. I hope you have a great weekend and take care. Bye-bye.